can tell you that they love you when they never mean it. True love come from God in the name of Jesus. Turn my back on the king, I committed treason. Thank God he forgives, now his name I'm preaching, screaming Jesus.
What's up, YouTube? You're Inside the Edge, and I'm back with another video. Thank you guys for tuning in, and if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, drop a like, drop a comment. It helps my channel grow. I will be covering the NBA throughout the entire summer. When it comes to summer free agency signings, I will be covering that. I will be covering the NFL throughout training camp, throughout OTAs. I will be talking about a lot of quarterbacks, a lot of young quarterbacks, a lot of young players, a lot of players that were drafted this year. I got you guys covered. So with that being said, guys, I'm excited. I definitely want to talk about my guy, Anthony Richardson. You know, this was a guy that a lot of us was raving about, just coming out of Florida, you know, just seeing the athlete he was. I mean, a lot of us felt like he can be a really good NFL quarterback if he put his mechanics. You know, this guy has a strong arm, so he's like, if he can have his mechanics right with his strong arm, I think it could be a combination where this guy can be a top NFL quarterback, as many of us believe. So, you know, entering the NFL, many scouts believe his ceiling could be a top 10 NFL quarterback. You know, looking at his dual threat ability, you know, coming out of Florida. Anthony Richardson has some question marks entering the NFL with his lack of experience at the collegiate level. He's only started in 13 games. He didn't complete over 60% of his passes throughout his first 3 years in college. You know, there's a lot of red flag areas. You know, a lot of us question his ability to be consistent, to be a drop back passer. You know, his bad footwork mechanics definitely questioned a lot of NFL scouts. Many question how fast he can process the game. How can he read defenses? How can he read the playbook? I mean, there was just so much on his shoulders coming into his rookie year, and just not only that, but just changing the entire franchise. You know, the Colts, you know, they've been a bad team for the last, 10 seasons. So there's a lot of pressure on him to turn this franchise around, guys. And I do think that Anthony Richardson, he does have the tools to be a really good quarterback. But again, guys, his rookie campaign was cut short to an AC joint sprain in his left throwing shoulder that put him out in week 5. But I think Anthony Richardson, I think he showed us some good things throughout his first 4 starts of last season. I mean, when you look at his debut, this guy threw for over 200 yards. He had 40 yards rushing. He had 1 touchdown pass, 1 running touchdown. That was a rookie record right there. So it looked like he blossomed in his first game. And then throughout, the other, 3 games that he's played, Richardson, he made some rookie mistakes down the field, but he also showed his glimpse that what he can do at being a dual threat quarterback. I think what impressed us the most about Richardson in his first few starts was how comfortable he was in the pocket, reading his checks, being accurate, throwing the ball down the field. I think his accuracy throwing the football was a lot better than we all expected. Now, there's going to be a lot of pressure on Richardson to produce right away and turn this franchise around, this Colts franchise, into a winning franchise. The question is, can Richardson win the hearts of many Colts fans? It's been purgatory for the Colts. Looking at last year, the Colts, they finished with a 9-8 record. The Colts was unable to win the AFC South for the 9th consecutive season. They were eliminated from playoff contention in the final week of the season for the second time in 3 seasons after a loss to the Houston Texans. Let's get into it, guys. I think this season, Anthony Richardson is coming into a season where he has some weapons around him. He even has threats. When you look at the backfield with Jonathan Taylor, I think he's going to be in a 1,000-yard rusher. If this Colts offensive line can get their pieces together on offensive line, I think Jonathan Taylor can have a stellar year where he's going to, it's going to be less pressure for Anthony Richardson. And that's always good for a young quarterback when you have a run game where, you don't have to put all the pressure on the young quarterback to make every single big play, every big moment. It's always good to have a running back like Jonathan Taylor. They just re-signed Michael Pittman Jr. This is a guy that is a threat, if you want to call him that. Every team needs a threat receiver, and I think Michael Pittman is a threat. Josh Downs, that's another great young receiver that I think is going to be a threat down the field with his speed. This dude has some talent on his team. I do like Alex Pierce. That's one receiver that I feel like is a sleeper in this league, but he's a solid receiver. Adano Mitchell, the young rookie out of Texas. This was a guy that was a top, wide receiver pick, and it looks like the Colts found their guy. They found a young receiver that that's going to be around for a long time. And I think Mitchell is going to add that versatility on offense where you can use him as a deep threat. You can use him on short routes. I think Anthony Richardson is going to have fun with him at, at receiver. Looking at the tight ends, Mo Ali-Cock, that's a tight end. I think he's been solid for a few years. Jelana Woods, I never heard of him, but I'm hearing good things about him, that he's going to be a young up-and-coming, tight end in this league. So this offense has some fluid. This offense has something to work with. I do think that Anthony Richardson can be a top 10 quarterback. I think if he hits his ceiling, he can be a top quarterback, guys. Again, this is going to be a tough division when you really look at the season for the Colts. With the Texans, the Titans, and the Jaguars, all teams got better. I'm not going to say that, this Colts team will win the division, but the difference is they can compete in this division. Again, it's been 9 consecutive seasons where, the Colts has not won their division, but I think this is the year where they can at least compete in their division. And that's always a good thing, guys. I believe in the Colts. I believe they're in good hands. Shane Steichen, he's been a coach for 13 years. He has a lot of experience, and I believe he's going to develop Anthony Richardson. He's done a great job with Jalen Hurts. When you look at the year Jalen Hurts had in Philly, one of his better years was under Shane as his coach. So I think Anthony Richardson, he just needs to continue developing, his accuracy, his drop back. But I think him coming into this situation in year 2, I think he has all the weapons in the world to compete with. And I think these guys in his division, I think he compete with the C.J. Strouds, given, the weapons that he does have. But I think this Colts team is a sleeper. I do like the weapons that they surrounded Anthony Richardson with. I'm a huge believer, and I think this Colts team is going to have a really good season this year. So with that being said, guys, I want to make this a quick video. I will talk a lot more with OTAs going on. I will do a lot more videos talking about Anthony Richardson. But this is just a warm-up video for you guys, for you Colts fans. How do you guys feel about your offense this year? I definitely want to get an idea of that. So with that being said, I hope everyone's having a good day. God bless, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.
Tell you that they love you when they never mean it. True love come from God in the name of Jesus. Turn my back on the king, I committed treason. Thank God he forgives, and his name I'm preaching. Screaming Jesus.